guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Bote Patra. Today we're gonna learn how to make ndolé, also called bitter leaf in English. So ndolé is a very traditional meal from Cameroon. So it's not an easy meal to make. It is pretty much easy, but it's just like it takes a lot of time to put things together. And anyway, we're all gonna be doing it together. Hopefully you like the video. So like again, we're gonna make ndolé today. I'm making a huge pot of ndolé. It's not a small pot. So actually I'm cooking for Christmas, so it's gonna be a huge pot of ndolé. So don't be surprised if you see like a big pot of stuff, and you know. So yes, all right, let's start the video. I'm gonna present you the ingredient I'm gonna be used for the ndolé. Like you can see, the ndolé is a lot of work. It takes a lot of times and ingredient. We're gonna use, here is the meat, the cow skin, and I'm gonna wash it, cut it, and boil it. Here's the cow tower, so the stomach part, and this is the beef, and I'm also gonna use this is the dry fish. The dry fish, fresh from Cameroon, and also this is the trip. The cow intestine. So we just killed the cow. So I'm gonna be cleaning up and boil it and mix the whole stuff together. And also we're gonna use this is the peanut that we're gonna use. I'm gonna soak it, ground it, and then have it ready for the ndolé. And we're also gonna use some garlic and the Maggi. This Maggi, here's the brine I'm gonna use, and some salt. I will put some ginger, not too much. I don't like too much ginger. And a lot of onions. We're gonna use onions. I love onions. I'll put tons of onions in there. And this is the spinach that we're gonna use to mix with the ndolé. So I have a good portion of ndolé, so I'm gonna use like one third will be the spinach. And also I think the pepper, this is a fresh pepper. I love the yellow one, the orange skin. It has a good taste, so this is what we're gonna use. All right, okay, here is my ndolé. So I soak it overnight. Now I'm gonna boil it. Before I boil it, I add a little bit of baking powder, just a little bit, to make the ndolé very soft, and to also help the ndolé to stay green, to keep his color. So I'm gonna boil it for about 35 to 40 minutes before I wash it. Hello guys, now I just soaked the cow intestine. They call it trip, so I'm gonna have to clean it and wash it well, because we just killed the cow, so this is fresh from the farm. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna boil this separately and then spill that water, because you know those are the intestine part, to remove the smell, you know. And then I will do that before I cook it with like my spice and stuff like that. So when you boil it with hot water for a little bit, it will clean this, so it will remove all the smell before, and then you spill that water. We're gonna soak the dry fish. I soak it in the hot water. I'm gonna use a lot since it's gonna be a big pot of ndolé. I'm gonna soak it for about 30 minutes before I clean it. All right, now the ndolé is ready. You can see it started boiling. I boiled it for about 40 minutes. It's ready. It's kind of like soft. I have another scoop inside the pot. That's the scoop I was looking for. So the ndolé is ready. You can see it's soft. I'm gonna turn off the oven. I'll turn off the stove. Now I'm gonna boil the peanut. I soak the peanut for about, I usually soak it early in the morning. So now I'm just gonna boil it. I like to boil the ndolé, the peanut that I'm using for the ndolé. Some people don't boil it, so it's up to you. I like to cook it completely before put it in the blender and ground it. So when I started cooking the whole thing, I will not spend a lot of time cooking the nut anyway. So the nut will already be ready to be cooked. So I will just mix the whole thing together, So right now I'm gonna boil the nut. I will cook it for about 35 minutes. Now we're washing the ndolé after boiling for like 45 minutes. Just make sure the water is cooled down before you dip your hands in it. You want it to cool first before you start washing. Alright, here are the ingredients that we're gonna use. Started with the crayfish, dry crayfish. And alright, here are some of the ingredients. The ndolé, right here. This is ndolé, and here's the spinach. So I like to mix both of them to make it kind of soft. So here's the ndolé, it's all washed and clean. Here's the spinach right there that we're gonna use to mix it up together. And then we'll have some pepper, ginger, some crayfish, dry crayfish, some garlic. I do use a lot of onions. So we'll put some onion in there, and those are the nut that I already grounded. So I kind of like boiled it before I ground it. And then we'll use some Maggi, and then some salt. Yeah. All right. And then also we're gonna mix it with the meat. I'm gonna use the cow feet, the skin, the intestine of the goat, and then the serviette. They call it serviette. It's like, the stomach part, and some dry fish and some beef. So I'm gonna show you the meat. It's pretty soft. And peanut. Mix the nut with the leftover of the onions. And a bit of water. Right, all soft. I like it really soft, very creamy. Right now, I'm just gonna mix everything together. I'll start mixing in the peanut, pour it in the pot. You cook it in a really low heat. You don't want the peanut to burn, so you do it in a medium heat, you know. Stir it up. As you can see, I did not put some oil. I usually like to add oil at the end. I'm gonna, you know, kind of like fry some onions with a little bit of crayfish and then pour it at the end. So right now there's no oil. Now it started boiling. Just gonna put some Maggi. Put some salt. Put some crayfish. I'm only gonna do half of it and then I'll fry the rest at the end. Okay. Mix it well. A big pot of Ndolé. So I mix the garlic, the onions, and the ginger. I blend it all together with the peanuts, so it's already mixed. Now I'm gonna add Ndolé. Just gonna sprinkle it inside. Then I'm gonna add the meat. I will do the spinach last because the spinach is pretty soft. And add the meat. It's a lot of meat. So I have already cooked the Ndolé very well. The peanut was already cooked very well, so I'm not gonna cook for a very long time. When it started boiling, like it's boiling like that, then I will just add the spinach. Now I'm gonna cover it up to let it rest like in about 15 minutes. Then I will add the spinach. Okay. Okay. Now let's add the spinach. Okay. Now the Ndolé is ready. then some crayfish. And then the rest of my crayfish, I will just add it. It smells good. Let it fry until it turns brown. Now the onion is brown with the crayfish. Just gonna pour it in the pot. Okay. That's good. And the Ndolé is ready. Ooh, smells good. Alright guys, this is Ndolé. It took quite a while to cook, about a few hours. It takes a lot of time to put things together. Then here's Ndolé. Alright, let me taste. Wow, so yummy, so delicious. If you really like, don't forget to subscribe and put a thumbs up. I will see you next time. Happy holidays to you and your family. Thank you.